Omar and the Lost Bag. During the golden hour of the afternoon, as the sun's rays danced upon the green hills, Omar, dressed in his elegant striped shirt and long trousers, dashed down the slope like an arrow. His laughter echoed through the air, his heart leaping with excitement to meet his friends. However, this joy made him forget everything around him, even the blue bag swinging wildly on his shoulder with every swift step, as if warning him of its fall. But he only heard the sound of the wind whistling in his ears. As Omar sped through the trees, the strap of the bag slipped silently from his shoulder. The bag fell and settled among the thick grass and colorful leaves, which hid it completely. Omar continued running without looking back, unaware that a part of his belongings had been left behind in the shadow of the hill. In truth, his haste had blinded him to everything else. Omar reached the playground where his friend Yasin was waiting with a football. The two friends became immersed in an exciting game, chasing the ball and passing it back and forth with skill. Omar was at the peak of his happiness, so lost in the present moment that he completely forgot about his lessons and books lying abandoned in the heart of nature. When play overshadows duty, one often forgets the most important things. As the sun began to set and the cool evening breeze started to blow, Omar said goodbye to his friend and prepared to return home. Suddenly he reached out to adjust his bag, but there was nothing there. His blood ran cold, and he looked at his shoulders in terror. He turned right and left, running back through the paths to search, but the twilight was already obscuring his vision. A deep fear gripped his heart, for this bag was not just an object. It was a responsibility he had neglected. Omar returned home with heavy steps and tearful eyes. He sat in a corner of the warm room, overwhelmed by regret. When his father entered, he saw the sadness on his son's face and gently stroked his head. Omar confessed his recklessness and the loss of his bag. His father spoke with a calm but firm voice. "My son, fun is a beautiful thing, but haste leads to loss. Responsibility means caring for your things as much as you care for your play." The next morning, Omar did not give up. He woke up early, determined to face the consequences of his actions. He set out with his father, dressed neatly, and with a look of firm resolve on his face. The sun was rising once again, as if granting him a second chance to prove he had learned his lesson, for responsibility begins with a serious step. They arrived at the garden and began a meticulous search, leaving no stone unturned. Omar bent down, parting the thick grass with his small hands and peering through the bushes with a patience he had never shown before. He was no longer rushing. Instead, he examined every corner with care while his friend Yasin loyally helped him. Responsibility teaches a person the true value of precision. Amidst the silent anticipation, Omar spotted a familiar blue color peeking out from under a pile of dry leaves. He shouted at the top of his lungs, "I found it! I found it!" He raised the bag high in the air as if holding a precious treasure. Although it was a bit soiled with dirt, it had become more valuable in his eyes than ever before. He had reclaimed his responsibility through his own effort and patience. On the way back, under the shade of the trees, his father stopped and gave Omar a warm hug. A look of pride shone in the father's eyes as he said, "Today, my son, you did not just find your bag, you found the path of responsibility." Omar smiled, feeling a deep sense of peace, realizing that care and attentiveness are what preserve the things we love. After returning home, Omar sat with his father to clean the bag together. He no longer tossed it aside carelessly. Instead, he placed it in its designated spot with great gentleness. This story became a turning point in the young boy's life. From a reckless wanderer to a child who understands the value of what he owns. Responsibility is not a heavy burden. It is the key to trust and success.